Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing Thai leases and usufructs. I don't think there's many people watching this video that are unaware of what a lease is, but just briefly, it's basically the right of usage, a leasehold. It's right of usage of a piece of property, let's call it land for purposes of this video, for a specific period of time. And so basically you have relatively unfettered usage of that land for a set period of time. And there may be some rules with respect to alterations, what you can and can't do, but for the most part you can do with it what you will for the period of time specified in the lease agreement. Then you've got what are called usufructs, and this is somewhat foreign to folks from a common law standpoint. In a common law tradition, I kind of look at a usufruct not unlike what we would call a life estate, where basically someone can confer the right to enjoy the usage of land or property to someone for their lifetime, and then that right extinguishes and passes on to whatever the next person in the chain of title may be. For example, an heir, it may depend. It may revert back to the person who granted the usufruct. It's going to depend, but it's kind of like a life estate, or in a sense, although this is bad terminology, legally speaking, you can think of it as like a lifetime lease, but in a common law tradition, it would be called like a life estate, but it's a usufruct. Question comes up from time to time. People ask me, well, what's better from a practical standpoint? And my answer to that is, well, and I'm sure people get tired of hearing this on these videos, it depends. And one thing it may really heavily depend on is the local land office. Some of them may be open to certain first of all, let's preface this by saying government officers in Thailand have a great deal of discretion with respect to how they apply the laws with respect to their given jurisdiction and their subject matter jurisdiction. This can be very foreign coming from a common law perspective because oftentimes we don't really have any parallels to this in our system. But long story short, you may have a land office or be dealing with a land office that doesn't like to see foreigners getting long-term leases, or they view them as pretensive. Same may be true for usufruct. So depending on your land office that you're dealing with, you may or may not be able to do one or the other. And then the next thing is it's whatever is best for you and your circumstances. I know a lot of folks, especially in advancing years, I've dealt with a lot of folks in their 70s that have no problem at all with a lease, especially like a 30-year lease. I've had many of them tell me, well, I'm going to be long gone by the time that lease expires, so I'm not overly concerned about it. Meanwhile, especially folks that are a little bit younger, usufruct may be, a better thing. They may be trying to get that. Practically speaking, it may or may not be possible to go ahead and secure those property rights. Again, it's going to depend on the specific facts of your given case. May not be a terrible idea to contact a legal professional, try and gain some insight and guidance into how best to deal with that.